Hello, everybody. I'm Elizabeth. This is my husband.
Alfred.
And we're here today to talk about the coronavirus, the concerns that go with it, and how to deal with the panic that surrounds it. So we'd like to start out this afternoon and talk about some of the concerns that are going on with the coronavirus. I was telling Alfred before we started this show that one thing I notice when I go to the grocery store is the toilet paper is all gone. But unfortunately, that's not the biggest concern that is with this virus. Alfred, what are the men talking about at work?
Well, obviously everybody's afraid they're going to be laid off any day. These things will just happen. Basically, there's not much advance notice, and that some people are living paycheck to paycheck, and that can be pretty serious.
Yeah, so they're afraid of a recession,
Right.
afraid they may not have enough money in the bank account to pay their bills, they may lose their houses, may not have enough money to feed their children,
Right.
those kind of concerns.
Absolutely. Then there's also the health concern, for people that are supposed to be really susceptible to it, men over 40.
Right, and the older folks too.
Absolutely.
Those that already have weakened immune systems. So the coronavirus is a real disease.
Yes,
right?
It is real.
So people really are dying from it. And it is something to be concerned about. And there is definitely an effect on the economy already in just the few weeks that we've been dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurants are basically shut down. Small business owners are possibly on the brink of bankruptcy. Even large businesses are sending their employees home. This is not even just American-wide, but it's worldwide.
Right.
As the
Absolutely.
airlines have been shut down. Basically, you can't get into other countries. You can't cross the borders. Tourism is being destroyed. So what are some things you're doing to help deal with the fear?
Well, that's a good question. So obviously, we only know so much because, we're not doing our own research. We're listening to the news, and it's all about the coronavirus. So one thing we see happening is the panic. And I think the big thing is the panic is probably a big part of it too. I mean, it makes the whole situation bad.
Right. And would you not say that the biggest part of the panic is the fear of the unknown?
Absolutely.
Because if we knew that next week this disease would be over, we'd all be back to work, the restaurants would be open, everything would be good, we could probably buckle down and go through this without too much fear.
Right.
Not that it would be pleasant, but we could get through it. But the fear is, what's going to happen with this disease? Is it really what the media is saying it is? Is it going to last for months, or is it going to be done soon? Are we going to all be locked down and nobody's working? So there's a lot of the fear of the unknown.
Absolutely.
So what do you think is the way to deal with those fears?
Well, physically, I would just say this, because I think it's a good time to say this too, is develop good habits. Keep good hygiene, which we should have been done it all along. Eat nutritious, People just kind of eat out of the vending machine these days. I see it at work all the time. And, it's not going to take much to take them out. So besides that, don't panic. That's probably the most important thing. And if we realize that God's in control,
That's right.
that would really alleviate us. Because right now we're just hearing everything, coronavirus, this, that, the economy. And that's, unfortunately, our human minds, stay focused on that.
That's
and
right.
we lose the big picture.
Well, and then we have the social distancing.
Absolutely.
We're quarantined, we're almost on lockdown, and we as people, we actually gather strength from being with other people. That eases our minds, that helps us. So
Right.
now we have this social distancing. We can't even really go with our friends. There's not church services in a lot of places. And I think that actually feeds to the panic. But like you were saying, we have to remember this is our Father's world.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if there is a conspiracy, if this is being dramatized. This still belongs to God. The
Yes.
world does. And we
Yes.
are his people.
That's right.
He's the creator. We are the creatures. And he's in full control. And it could be that God is allowing this to get our attention back on him.
Absolutely. There's a lot we can do in just realizing and claiming the promises of God. You know,
That's right.
they say the Tower of Babel was built because people were afraid of the flood. So they went through all that trouble to build something which was not even necessary when you could just rest on the promises of God. So
That's right.
yes.
So the message for today is to the audience, to anyone that would be listening, that yes, we're in a real situation. There is real trouble. But in the middle of all of that, there's still God.
Right.
And He's in control. And instead of panicking and doing foolish things, let's all turn to God. Let's go to Him in prayer. Let's give Him our burdens, our cares, and let's trust that God is going to work this out.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, Alfred?
Well, I would just say God is always looking out for the poor and the oppressed, so it doesn't matter who you are, what your situation is. The Lord is looking out for you.
That's
and this
right.
will all work out for our good.
That's right. And there's something about our God that's always been so amazing. He can take what seems to be the worst situations and actually turn them around to make it the best thing that ever happened to us.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the words of comfort and encouragement today. May the Lord bless you all.